too rowdy. You know, I never recall him being a rowdy or a sort of a hard taskmaster. He sort of let you slide into what you were doing and guide you along. And he produced lots and lots of proteges like Elver and Nadine and Cindy and Dawn, Hannah, Bethel, and people like that, and Virginia Smith, who came over from the Learning Resources Unit. Charles took all of them under the wings, and then of course most of the news people were pretty much under Eddie and Kelsey, but the programming people and the announcers, Charles would have been the one to really guide them along. And you got to remember now, this is the first batch of Bahamian broadcasters.
Our task and honor is to recognize that when we have the opportunity, we have to give it our best, because we're doing it not just for ourselves, but we're doing it for future generations yet unborn. And the great hope that I have is that the works of people like Charles Carver would be so protected and so used as an instrument for the continuation of the building of our nation and the strengthening of our nation. May he rest in peace.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence. We cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, Grand Bahamas tourism sector continues to rebuild after taking a heavy blow from the COVID-19 pandemic that brought the travel industry to a virtual standstill. But these days, the Ministry of Tourism is out front promoting Grand Bahama in the international market as a close and safe destination to visit. This weekend, tourism leaders hosted some influential players out of the Florida market, and they're looking to reap some good results. Our Megan Shepard has our top story.
The Ministry of Tourism is trying to get the word out that Grand Bahama is open for business. Radio personalities from Florida's iHeart radio station were given the full Grand Bahama tour and experience thanks to the local Ministry of Tourism. General Manager Stephen Johnson says that they want to dispel the myth that there isn't much to do on this northern island.
We wanted them to see everything that Grand Bahama has to offer. And so, you know, Grand Bahama is prime. We're prime for people coming in. And so people always say there's not a lot of things to do. That's a notion. And so we want to dispel that notion. We want them to come here to taste, feel, and see Grand Bahama in our own special way.
The radio host will also help to promote a competition on their respective shows and encourage listeners to enter to win a free trip to the island.
We have a big contest going on with the radio station where we're encouraging people to come to Grand Bahama Island, and so we had them all over the place. The competition they have going on is basically an online competition, as well as with a website, radio, where persons have a chance to actually win a trip to Grand Bahama. And obviously we are partnering with Viva, and our partners in this as well is the Valeria. Why they came down on a private flight, they're leaving on Bahamas Air.
Stitches of iHeartRadio's 103.5 The Beat says this was her first trip to the island, but definitely won't be her last.
I'm so grateful that this was my first experience here. But it was just beautiful, from the people to the culture. Our amazing tour guide, we love you, Wendell. We love you, Anya. And Steve, and just everyone that was just so welcoming. And even the resort that we were on, Viva Wyndham Hotel, we thank you so much for just having us. It was amazing. Meeting the people, we were able to kind of went to 8 Mile Rock, and we also were able to meet some of the. I found a friend who went to FAMU, and she built her business here, and I think that was the Corner Bar. So shout out Vanessa, big up to Vanessa. They showed us how to make the conch salad, and I don't know, it was just beautiful. The people, and the land, so the island rather. So thank you for having us. I'm coming back, but I'm not coming by myself. So we're going to come back and bring some people with us. So thank you. Another home for us.
Drew of iHeartRadio's Y100 Miami echoing those sentiments.
We're right down the street, so there needs to be more people coming this way. I mean, there's just no excuse. The island is gorgeous. The people are phenomenal. The food is to die for. And there's so many experiences, you know, again, between the ATVs, between diving, there's just so much to do on this island. So I will 1,000% be back, and I'm excited for that. Check everything. I documented the entire experience, too, on Instagram at Drew On Air, so definitely check that out. And, of course, listen to me talk about this incredible island on the show on iHeartRadio, Y100 Miami. So
he says he most definitely will be sharing his experience with his listeners.
We have done everything under the sun. I've eaten my body weight in conch, and it was amazing. I wish I could take some home with me. It was so much fun. We did ATVs. I pet a stingray. Bucket list. I pet a stingray. We did free diving. We saw wildlife and fish, and there was just something every day. We had so much fun, and the weather held out too, except for the last day, which is great. The Bahamian people are phenomenal. That's the real takeaway for me too, is just the people, the culture. Everybody's so welcoming, and I love that. I'll be back 1,000%. So.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Great story, Megan. Well, the image of this report is also important when it comes to promoting the island in the international market. The cleanup of Freeport remains a major challenge since monster storm Hurricane Dorian, but port officials say it is not because they aren't doing their part to keep Grand Bahama clean. The amount of debris on Grand Bahama left behind since Hurricane Dorian continues to plague the island. But President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Ian Roll, says significant inroads have been made to clean up the island. However, many residents are not doing their part to keep it that way.
After cleaning a particular area on day one, or even within a few hours, you know, more debris is being placed in these particular areas. We have certain hot spots. So, I mean, what we can do is continue to educate persons to let them know that it affects the growth of the island.
And when it comes to the abandoned buildings, many have asked the entity charged with the upkeep of the Freeport area to simply demolish them. But while Roll admits that these are an eyesore, there is also a process required by law before any demolition could take place.
And those bylaws currently says to the Port Authority, okay, you need to now engage the services of an independent engineer to determine the structure of the building. Is it a sound structure? And not because a building doesn't have windows or a door or a hole in the roof, that is not a sound structure and cannot be fixed. So a number of these buildings, an example of one is the building located by the Grand Lucayan area. All right? That building, an independent engineer looked at that and gave us a report. It's still sound. So you cannot demolish it.
But Roll notes that the port is working with the government to change these laws. Another eyesore in the Freeport community is the Princess Hotel and the International Bazaar. There have been some discussions locally on whether or not the hotel would be an ideal location for the University of the Bahamas North. Here's what he had to say.
We have to speak to the budget of the University of the Bahamas. I don't know what that is. Now, I've heard that they have identified a location to move to, but one, you have to identify what their budget is and the willingness of the Harcourt Group to actually also sell for whatever the University of Bahamas could afford. So there are different things you have to consider.
Shashina Rolf-Farquharson, ZNS Network. Well, flying termites, especially at night, many residents on Grand Bahama have seen them. Some have reported seeing them in abundance in local neighborhoods. But if you see these winged termites indoors, your alarm bells should be ringing loud and clear, as these insects should not be taken lightly. Here's Jamila Mizik with this report.
They are called super termites, and operations manager at Budget Pest Control, Hugh Ferguson, says he first noticed the species on the island some 11 years ago, and ever since they've been swarming every year.
They're reproducing, they're spreading, and so right now they're literally island-wide. And so starting a few weeks ago, their swarming season is literally from April the 15th through to June, the end of June. And during that period of time, they would literally be swarming, they'll be mating, they'll be establishing new colonies. And so that's something that the residents are now experiencing.
Now, recently, Ferguson says some businesses have had to close because of the level of infestation, and he notes that they generally swarm after sundown. He says the super termites are the most destructive species of termites known to man.
If you look at the amount of damage that all termites will do in 20 years, the super termites will do in 20 months. They're just that, colonies that large, they're that ferocious in their appetite, and they're literally eating 24/7. They never sleep, and they're just chewing that structure. So once they get into your home, it's not a matter of whether you're going to have expense. It's a matter of how much expense you're going to have, because in most cases, we find that the people have had to change their entire roof. People have to change all of their cabinetry.
Ferguson says the termites can travel from the ground up, but are versatile enough to enter from the roof and are even able to eat through pressure-treated wood.
A lot of them would go back into the soil and start a colony in the soil, but also some would land on the roof. And then if there's a moist area, you have a roof leak, or you have air condition, condensation or something going on in there, and if that wood has a little high moisture content, they're going to find that very attractive. They're going to start that colony in that wood in your ceiling, in the roof. And literally in a matter of months, you're going to have serious damage taking place.
And he notes that in addition to homes, they are a serious threat to forestry as well. He shares this advice.
If you got trees near your home, so just check around the trunk, make sure that there's no opening, make sure there's no hole in the tree that would indicate their presence. Also, it is best not to plant any trees, any shrubbery next to the house. So these are things that homeowners can do. Don't plant any trees next to the house. Don't have any mulch next to the house. Have your home, have the grade of the soil slanted away from the house so that moisture don't accumulate at the base of your foundation, because the one thing that is most attractive to them is moisture.
Now, if you have any concerns, Ferguson says you should call your local exterminator, but most importantly, conduct annual inspections to catch the infestation early on to avoid serious damage. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's 2021 Job Readiness Program has come to a close on Grand Bahama. The 7-week course was designed to address the issue and unemployment and improve job skills among participants. The closing out ceremony taking place at the St. Paul's Methodist Church today, and our Miko Knowles was there.
For the past 7 weeks, youths between the ages of 17 and 25 have been actively engaged in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Job Ready program. The participants were employed as interns at various companies in Grand Bahama, and they all gathered in the halls of St. Paul's Methodist Church for the closing ceremony. Intern Taisha Curry gave the welcoming address.
This was indeed a special program. We had so many lively guest speakers that came in and forced us outside of our comfort zone, and they went beyond teaching the do's and don'ts during and after a job interview. But they also reminded us of the whys when they unknowingly touched on matters that hit close to home. And through them, we learned how networking, teamwork, budgeting and saving, and a positive mindset is not only connected to achieving the job, but also to those goals that we set out for ourselves. And by applying a few of those tips, it made my internship at Alive one of the best experiences that I've ever had.
The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Iram Lewis, on hand congratulating the first cohort to successfully complete the course.
As we strive to create our new normal, and yeah, that's a buzzword nowadays, new normal, this group has been equipped with the tools needed to flourish in the work environment locally and, of course, abroad. Personally, I look forward to these young people taking their place as leaders in the workplace of tomorrow. We are here to celebrate the accomplishment of our, and I love this number, 72 determined young people who have stepped up to the challenge settled to them by their facilitators.
Having graduated, Lewis notes that the interns are better equipped to enter the workforce.
I am proud to say these young people show us the positive and great potential of the future. Parents and relatives, you should be proud as these young persons give us hope for a brighter tomorrow. Come on, yes?
Youth Program Coordinator Carla Brown Roker says she's motivated more than ever to continue the path of preparing the youth.
Today I'm so grateful to God. I truly am, for meeting this group of diverse young people. People think young people are just sitting home, getting ready to light up one backward, using Facebook to pose naked. You know, they have this negative view of young people. And mind you, there are some of them that are doing that. But what I'm here to say is that the majority of them are not doing that.
Now a 2-week virtual Job Ready program also came to a close. The virtual participants shared their experience.
The Job Ready program has been an astonishing and informative experience. We were all able to enhance our knowledge and unlock our hidden skills during our virtual sessions.
And it's been a truly wonderful experience, and I've been asked even to keep applying to come back and volunteer and tell the government to hire me because it is a process. But I'm just saying that just to encourage you all, just keep God first. Keep pushing, never be discouraged, and to always just try your best.
This program has not only prepared me for the workforce, but it prepared me for my everyday life. It was a pleasure to have an opportunity to be a part of this spiritual program that made room for more growth and knowledge.
When I say job, you all say ready. Job! Ready! All right then.
The graduates all received certificates for meeting the requirements of the Job Ready program. In addition, following the 7-week course, many of them were hired at the establishments they interned at. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
And it is Labor Week in the country, and unionists on Grand Bahama are celebrating the annual observance with a number of activities. Area Vice President for the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quentin LaRota, sharing some of the events slated for this week.
Last year, due to COVID, of course, we didn't have much Labor Day celebrations, but we look forward this year to the return of Labor Week. And so we began the week with a church service yesterday with Pastor Carol Roach at New Horizon. The next event on the calendar is Thursday night at 7. It's called the Night of Labor. I'm the honoree for this year's Labor Day, and that night I would be celebrated in grand style here at the Bahamas Union of Teachers Belinda M. Wilson complex.
Now, the Sir Randall Fox Labor Day holiday is being observed on Friday, June 4th this year. And LaRota says instead of the annual parade, they will be celebrating differently.
We usually have a march, but due to COVID, we're going to have a motorcade starting at the bazaar. We'll travel east on the Sunrise Highway to Coral Road, and then we take the left, Pioneers Way, and then we end the parade right here at the BUT grounds, and then we'll have our rally in which the labor leaders from the various unions will address concerns from their unions. We're inviting the public to participate in the motorcade as we once again celebrate the workers of this country and what they have done in terms of building this country.
Stay with us. There's more news on the other side of the break.
Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. On Grand Bahama, there are only two types of homes, those with termites and those that will have termites. The signs you should look for are drywood termite fecal pellets, subterranean termite shelter tubes, and of course damaged wood. We now have on Grand Bahama the Coptotermes formosanus, or the super termite, which can do extreme damage in a very short period of time. To know more and to protect your investment, contact the termite experts at Budget Pest Control. With us, it's not just a company behind you, but a family. We are located on 13 Forest Avenue. Call us today at 351-7378.
Yes, sir. What you saying, bro?
Man, everything cool. Right here waking dead hot. What you doing for lunch?
You catch me here checking out the ZNS Shopping Network site? I looking at this out to sea deal.
Yeah? How do one go?
For $30, you get a $50 coupon. 20% off fish at the stand, plus you get $10 in minutes.
Man, you can't beat that.
Well, out to sea it is.
Log on to www.ZNSShoppingNetwork.com. Select the island of your choice and shop anywhere, anytime.
You all thinking about catching a trip? Get all fresh up and catch the sailing with Valeria Caribbean. Passenger prices start at only $120 per way. And you'll love the onboard amenities while you relax and enjoy the view. Plus, the ferry is secured with all the latest COVID-19 protocols. Once you're done shopping, you're back home in no time with no hassle getting your packages. Bins start at $150, and the best thing is when you travel with your cargo, you eliminate the manifesting fees. It's easy, fast, and affordable. Book your trip now at www.valeriacaribbean.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
The Bahamas Institute of Business and Technology transformed my life. It gave me the opportunities that I needed to succeed. I benefited from their affordability and was able to complete my associate's degree on time. Their day, evening, and weekend classes meant that I didn't have to leave home or quit my job to pursue my dreams. Generous scholarships and installment plans made it easy for me to cope financially. BIBT was the right choice for me. Why not make it your choice?
Apply today at BIBTBahamas.com.
Has math been stressing you or your child out lately? Well, cheer up. Relief is now available through the Math Professor and more. Our team brings a wealth of knowledge and a proven success record. Looking to develop communication skills and confidence when speaking to an audience? We can help with that too. Give us a call today at 602-6851 or 727-1257. You deserve a break, and we're here to help.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Now to our holistic health segment, yoga. It's essentially a spiritual discipline based on an extremely subtle science, which focuses on bringing harmony between mind and body. Tonight, Jamila Mizik tells us that yoga can be helpful to your overall health.
It is a practice that is all about the mind, body, and soul. Today on Holistic Health, we talk to certified yoga instructor Sherry Wood about the health benefits of yoga.
Yoga is a personal practice that involves physical motion and also a very focused concentration. And it also involves, I would say, a form of meditation because we do a lot of work with our breath. So it's kind of like this threefold sort of practice that has these elements in it. People do as part of a routine or part of their lifestyle.
She says one of the benefits of yoga is that it helps to reduce stress.
It teaches you how to breathe. And when I say breathe, I mean breathe consciously. Take a step back and kind of empty your mind. Because when you're doing yoga, you can't possibly be thinking about all this other stuff going on in your life. So it reduces stress in that way that it teaches you how to focus on you and just the simple things versus everything that's going on around you.
And she adds that yoga is also a great form of exercise.
The second component is movement. So it allows you to stretch your muscles and tighten your core and work your muscles at the same time. So in yoga, the different physical positions we do are called asanas. And every asana has a strengthening component, a stretching component, and a breath component, which forces you to use your mind to focus. It's not like when you're lifting a weight, right? You're lifting weights and you're just like doing bicep curls. Yes, you have to focus, but it's kind of this. You can listen to music, bebop around, right? With yoga, we're doing everything isometric. There's no weights. And you're focusing on every little motion. So the less you do and the more you feel, the more benefit you get from it. When we get tense and everything tightens up like this, with yoga, when we're doing our stretches and we're moving, we're stretching fascia, we're opening up spaces in the body for energy to flow. And this is what releases blocks and helps you to flow better in your everyday life. So it's very multidimensional.
Now, Sherry notes that sometimes there's a stigma attached to yoga, especially when it comes to men participating. But she says yoga is for everyone.
Every body size. I've had people that weigh 300 pounds in my class to the tiniest little ballerina. It's for everybody. Don't ever think that because you don't think you look like whatever your vision of a yoga person is, that you can't do yoga. It's for everybody.
Until next time on Holistic Health, I'm Jamila Mizik.
So that's our Facebook friend of the night. Up next.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Did you know that you can get the benefits of timeshare without the burdens of owning one? Finally, you can stay at over 4,000 top timeshare resorts across the globe for as little as $2.99 per week. Seabreeze Vacation Villas and Country Club, located at number 2 Port of Call Drive right here in Freeport, is pleased to introduce benefits without burdens. Visit SeabreezeVacationVillas.com to register for a complimentary breakfast or lunch preview, or call 602-5617 to find out more today.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right? Yep.
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay. Miss.
You know Lou's a buying, right?
Oh, well, you must be getting kids' belay. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Plus, you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. Boy, Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I rolling with you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
Did quarantine, lockdowns, and curfews help you to discover your inner chef? Well, I want to hear from you. Munching with Megan is back. Let's get cooking.
All new guest chefs and all new flavors. Tune in this and every Wednesday on the ZNS TV network. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture congratulates all the participants of its Job Ready program. Resilient youth, re-engineered for re-emergence. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Kayla McIntosh, you are our Facebook friend today. Thank you so much for your support. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Roll-Farquharson. We'll see you tomorrow. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the Memorial Day holiday, a big win for the Bahamas. A leading surgeon shares COVID's impact on local cancer cases. 3 new justices assume the High Court. And an inner-city murders under active investigations. Those stories and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
Playing in the water can be loads of fun, but it can also be quite dangerous if all caution is thrown to the wind. Being alert and keeping an eye on young children and adolescents should always be priority. Here's how you can do it. Unfortunately, a lifeguard won't be at every beach and pool, so picking out someone to be the designated pool or beach watcher, especially when kids are around, is extremely important to lower risk of accidents in and around the water.
Whether it be in the sea or in the pool, you're going to make sure that everybody knows who the designated watcher is. And when you change over, if you're having an event that's lasting more than an hour or 2, at least you can rotate out every 15 minutes and have 3 or 4 watchers set up. For an adult, any children at the age of 7, if they can swim, should still never be more than arm's reach apart. And when you have kids going through the Learn to Swim programs, we want to stay safe within them.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. The message getting out that the Bahamas is back in business, and the highly coveted North American market has heard it loud and clear as thousands of visitors are in the Bahamas for the Memorial Day weekend. Altaviz Munning spoke with the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association president, who's very encouraged by the rebound.
37 million. That's how many Americans traveled this Memorial Day weekend. And according to U.S. media, passenger volumes continue to rise at airports across the United States, with the Transportation Security Administration screening almost 2 million passengers a day, the highest output since the pandemic's start. Tourism officials are quite aware of the pent-up demand for travel now that vaccinations in the U.S. have accelerated, and many North American visitors are taking advantage of the close proximity to the Bahamas to make us their vacation destination of choice.
It also comes at a time where America is also opening up more and more, that the availability of increased airlift, certainly out of the United States and into destinations like the Bahamas, is also increasing. So the fact that we are improving from a COVID position, as well as a traditionally popular travel period for North Americans, augurs well and has manifested itself in improved business for the Bahamas during this particular period.
That's Hotel and Tourism Association President Robert Sands, who's confident the Bahamas' COVID-19 tourism rebound will generate tremendous benefits.
The Bahamas has demonstrated that we promote ourselves as a safe destination to visit. I think that's number one. Number two, proximity to North America, I think, also has helped. Number three, the Family Islands offer a product that persons consider to be, I think, very safe, connected to what they may want to experience during a protocol environment. But also, I think New Providence also offers products that they can certainly attract to. And the mere fact that a number of hotels are offering new products along with their current offerings, I think, speaks volumes to what is happening certainly in the destination of New Providence at the moment.
The veteran hotel executive declared that operations at Family Island properties are either equal or even better than New Providence.
Simply because of the perception of being perhaps much more isolated, more environmentally friendly, more outdoor arrangements. But New Providence is beginning to certainly also show signs of growth week over week this year.
Altaviz Munning, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union at odds with a decision taken by the Atlantis Resort requiring workers to vaccinate or foot the bill of testing, a requirement to enter the Paradise Island property. President Darren Woods says the union's lawyers are looking at its options as they also hope for a compromise for workers in an industry struggling to rebound. Here's Keishla Adderley.
Another quandary has developed in the COVID-19 crisis. This week, the Atlantis Resort announced that hotel staffers who opt not to take the COVID-19 vaccine must, come September, foot the bill of mandatory weekly testing themselves. The Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union is not convinced that this is just. Union President Darren Woods.
The vaccination process, as the government has mandated, is not mandatory. Persons take it if they want to. And by this newest development, we see it that is a thrust to kind of get people to go into the direction of, I'm using the word mandatory vaccination.
Earlier this month, Atlantis let go more than 700 employees after a months-long furlough. But as union executives point out, those who remain are now left torn.
Persons are being paid bi-monthly. When they get paid bi-monthly, and you cannot get your test, because the test has to be weekly, every 7 days. They have to do the test. And so for that, they have to have that funds in place.
The union is, in the meantime, shopping around for the best group testing prices, hoping to lighten the load of members who have been inundating them with calls.
And we're looking into it
to see how best we could assist our members by trying to find various different other places where the prices for the test itself is reasonable.
In the meantime, President Woods is tackling the legal questions.
Because we see this as a unilateral change of terms and conditions of employment. And so we would expect for the government to ensure that all the rights of all citizens are respected.
Keishel Adderley, ZNS Network News.
While also making national news this evening, new amendments to the emergency powers orders for those islands under a 14-day lockdown. It's now a go for pharmacies on North and Central Andros, Cat Island, Bullock's Harbor, and Great Harbor Key in the Berry Islands to operate Mondays and Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The COVID-19 pandemic disrupting the prevention and treatment of serious diseases, cancer one of them. Addressing the Cancer Society's first hybrid ball on Saturday, President Dr. Williamson Shea revealed COVID restrictions not only impacted fundraising activities, but crippled usual cancer screening and support activities.
Patients are being diagnosed late with advanced cancers and with more complications. The incidence of non-communicable diseases, including cancers, is expected to increase in the future as the rate of obesity and overweight spirals with the poor dietary choices and the physical inactivity that this lockdown spawned. This gives us more impetus to double our efforts to raise funds to assist persons who are living with cancer. So as we continue our financial aid program and continue to host our family islanders at our Cancer Caring Center, we need to resume our breast cancer, cervical cancer, and prostate cancer screening programs as soon as possible.
Dr. Shea also used his brief address to encourage Bahamians to get vaccinated.
It is really the only way out of this pandemic. The vaccines are safe and effective in eradicating this terrible virus, and they save lives. My wife and I are now fully vaccinated and hope you are and will be soon.
Well, still to come, meet the country's newest Supreme Court justices, and detectives piece together clues following another homicide. Those stories and more when the National Report continues. And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's a scroll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
My name is Demetria Smith, and I am a high school educator, VAF. When I got there, I was introduced to my insurance agent. She's more of a concierge for me. I can call her morning, noon, or night, and she's there for me. My husband, he's an entrepreneur, so he has the endowment plan. It tells us that later on when he retires that there's going to be something there to take care of us. They see to it that you have everything that you need. It's right at your fingertips, and they make it available to you without having to look. They have everything in one place. They provide everything that I need. They're right at my fingertips. It's just convenient. BAF is beneficial on so many levels for myself, my children, and my husband. They really care about you, and their services are excellent. I'm happy to have BAF insurance coverage.
Soundstripe.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
COVID-19 only adding to the country's case backlog. Chief Justice Sir Brian Marie pegging that down to between 12 and 18 months on the criminal side and up to 2 years for civil, commercial, and family cases.
Now have a larger backlog that we have to deal with, in addition to all of the new cases, which are coming into the system literally every month. So this is a very important development for us. Hurricane Dorian really resulted in a lot of additional work for the coroner's court, and there was a backlog developing as after Hurricane Dorian. So we are going to be advertising for appointments to the coroner's court. There are a number of deputy coroners that we have now, several in New Providence and one in Grand Bahama. And so we're going to be deploying all of the deputy coroners together with a new appointment who will be appointed the coroner. That process should start within the next several weeks. We'll advertise for the post, and then the Judicial and Legal Services Commission will consider the applications and advise His Excellency the Governor General.
Well, it's hoped the appointment of 3 new Supreme Court justices would help reduce that backlog. Carla Palmer has the details.
I, Juanita Denise Lewis Johnson, do swear that I will well and truly serve. I, Andrew Wayne Ford, do swear.
I, Janine Michelle Nish Gomez, do swear that I will be faithful.
With that, Honorable Madam Justice Juanita Lewis Johnson, Honorable Justice Andrew Forbes, and Honorable Justice Janine Wish Gomez, with family and the Chief Justice Sir Brian Maury as witnesses, pledged their commitment to integrity, justice, and fairness for all in the execution of their duties as the country's newest Supreme Court justices.
I'm very excited and I'm grateful to God for the opportunity to serve my country at this high level. I intend to serve with honor and integrity and to do my country proud, do the citizens of the country and all persons who appear before me with justice and fairness.
I'm blessed and humbled by the appointment. I am expected to travel to Grand Bahama in the coming days to take up the criminal post in Grand Bahama. So I'm hoping that given that there hasn't been any trials taking place for at least the last 6 months, that I'll be able to hit the ground running.
I certainly hope to take the judiciary, and when I leave it better than where I found it. I understand that I'm going on the criminal bench, certainly initially, and I look forward to that. I trust that I could make a dent and assist in the backlog.
With annual attrition in the judicial system, the Chief Justice says the appointments were critical.
Over the last 12 to 24 months, there have been a number of retirements and elevations in the Supreme Court, and so we were really quite short-handed. So these appointments are going to provide the judiciary with much-needed additional resources.
There are also now some 20 judges sitting the Supreme Court bench. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Another change brought on by COVID. For the first time, the census will be done virtually. To facilitate the process, census listers will get residents' names, phone numbers, and email addresses. Just recently, the Department of Statistics swore in 70 personnel to assist in gathering the information. Each lister signed a legally binding oath of secrecy. Illegal migration, a major issue the world over, and this weekend a United Nations delegation got a first-hand view of the living conditions and treatment of immigrants in the Bahamas. The team visited the Carmichael Road Detention Center and shanty towns on the island of Abaco. Following the stops, UN officials acknowledged the positive attempts by the government to treat the issue with due care and dignity. The UN team has also committed to working with the government to regularize migration in accordance with international best practices. Accompanying the team was Foreign Affairs Minister and MP for North Abaco, the Honorable Darren Henfield, who said the mission was both constructive and useful towards rebuilding a more resilient Bahamas.
We're all about transparency, and we had nothing to hide in the Bahamas, and we allowed the UN rep to speak freely, listen to them and their concerns. I explained what happened in Hurricane Dorian. We realized that here in the storm, that these irregular communities were difficult to manage, and that they were not safe. The hurricane came ashore and destroyed the mud, the pea, and also sandbanks, irregular communities, and we don't want that to happen again in the Bahamas.
From the crime beat, Washington Street, the scene of the country's latest homicide. Police went to the area around 11 o'clock last night following a shooting that moments later left a man in his mid-20s dead.
On arrival of the officers, they met a body of a male lying on the ground with apparent gunshot wounds. The preliminary information is that family members heard the sounds of gunshots, and when they went outside, they met their relative on the ground. Emergency medical services were summoned, and on their arrival, after examining the body, they pronounced the body lifeless.
Now, as usual, police are asking for the public's assistance in solving this case.
Our details are limited at the moment. We can't come to any conclusion because we don't have much information to work with. We're appealing to members of this community who may know or have any information as to what occurred at this event this evening to contact the police at 502-9991 or 502-9992.
A teen girl is missing tonight, and according to a police bulletin, that's been the case now for nearly a week. Aldika Pratt was last seen at her Lobster Avenue home on Tuesday, May 25th, around 10 p.m. Police say the 16-year-old has light brown complexion, is 5 feet 8 inches tall and slim build. As always, anyone with information on Aldika's whereabouts should call 502-9991, 502-9992, 502-9971, or simply download the P3 Tips app. Well, the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season begins tomorrow, June 1st, and as the saying goes, preparation is key. In this week's edition of Things You Should Know, the Director of Meteorology shares this year's predictions with our Cleopatra Murphy.
An above-average hurricane season is what weather officials predict for the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, with 13 to 20 named storms according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It marks a fall-off from the 2020 hurricane season that saw a record-breaking 30 named storms churning in the Atlantic. Director of Meteorology Trevor Baston shares what to expect.
6 to 10 are expected to develop into hurricanes, and of the 6 to 10, 3 to 5 of them will be major hurricanes. Major hurricanes are categories 3, 4, and 5, starting at 111 miles per hour and greater.
In September 2019, the Category 5 monster storm Hurricane Dorian unleashed on the Bahamas, Abaco and Grand Bahama in particular, leaving still an unknown number of people dead and millions in infrastructural damage. Baston explains factors that contribute to hurricane intensification when combined with moisture.
Sea surface temperatures really give the energy, the impetus for these systems to intensify. And also you need a vertical structure where you don't have shear, all right? And shear is where you have winds rapidly changing in speed or direction with height. So once you have limited shear and good, what they call vertical stacking, where the top of the storm is aligned with the all that latent heat and the changes used by the storm to assist it in how it would turn and spin. They are the two main factors.
Bearing in mind that the weather systems are turbulent and unpredictable, Baston says the impact of a hurricane's eye wall is dangerous, but storm surge is even more threatening.
Storm surge by far gives rise to the most deaths.
This hurricane season, Baston is calling on Bahamians to be ready.
Just one system coming and affecting you can be quite devastating, but be prepared. The Bahamas ranks #1 in the Atlantic basin for the impact of tropical storms and hurricanes. So you are in a hurricane belt. Just be prepared.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation is bringing the beloved people-to-people program to the virtual stage through a series that will create real-time connections for travelers to experience the warm hospitality and rich culture of the Bahamian people online.
So the Ministry of Tourism's People-to-People program is a program designed to afford visitors an opportunity to be able to interact with local residents in a meaningful way and experience the Bahamas the way Bahamians do. The program, with the onset of COVID, we realized that people weren't able to travel physically to the destination anymore. And so we had to find a way for our visitors to still be able to have this unique Bahamian experience. And so we thought of making the program a virtual one for a short period of time. Some of the virtual sessions that we looked at to offer our visitors were Local Life 101, and that was with Ali Nash Ferguson, a Bahamian historian and cultural icon. And that segment was designed to educate the visitors on the history and culture of the Bahamas. Another segment that we had was Learn to Dance the Junkanoo. And of course, we know this great cultural expression. We needed our visitors to feel the excitement of the Bahamas through this dance. And so we offered visitors to be able to come and dance with us virtually, and the response was so overwhelming. People got excited about it. It's very important to the Ministry of Tourism and to the Bahamas because we want to make sure that the Bahamas stays top of mind for our visitors so that when they are ready to travel again, they will remember these experiences that they would have had virtually, and they would come here seeking those experiences.
The people-to-people experiences have resulted in lasting friendships between visitors and locals for decades, and the Ministry of Tourism is thrilled to now be able to bring this special experience to homes across the globe virtually. I'm Mercedes Demerit, and this is Tourism Today.
It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. Lowest consumer loan rates in the country. Trying to bank with no stress, we make it too easy. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. Apply today for a B.O.B. Visa credit card, debt consolidation loan, or easy top-up. B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
Basketball is back, baby, and so is NBA League Pass, only with Rev Trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free, along with incredible prizes, including a brand new 50-inch smart TV, NBA gear, and more. With tons of prizes and gear, signing up for Trio is the best on- and off-court move this year. Just call 601-8992 or visit www.rev.bs/promotions/trio. Sign up for Rev Trio today and enjoy NBA League Pass absolutely free.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Disinfectant spray is certified by a U.S. EPA compliant lab to kill the coronavirus that causes COVID-19. Beep Disinfectant Spray is now available in a convenient travel-size can that travels everywhere with you. Beep for a happy, healthy home.
Since 1965, Family Guardian has helped to build a better life for Bahamians through our insurance and financial service products and our philanthropic giving to residents in the communities where we work and live. In honor of our Founders Day, Family Guardian has established May as its month of giving, and this year we have positively impacted more than 500 families through our donations and feeding initiatives. Thank you to our staff and agents who have worked tirelessly to ensure that what's important to you is important to us. Family Guardian, we're protecting you.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week. Only at Subway.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Maintaining the country's massive food import bill, it's long been an issue, but there are many Bahamians that are taking matters into their own hands to fulfill their goal of adopting a healthy lifestyle. Here's Desmond Saunders.
It was an idea conceived 2 years ago and now occupying 390 square feet of space behind the CG Atlantic House, Collins Avenue, is a garden beaming with a wide assortment of fresh fruits and vegetables.
We've expanded. We've grown so many crops. You know, we've had from tomatoes to sweet peppers to cabbage, kale, pumpkin, squash, radishes, so many things.
Corporate Wellness Manager Donovan Ingram and Assistant Wellness Manager at CG Atlantic, Naval Miller, pitched the idea 2 years ago to company executives to promote healthy lifestyles in the country. Since its inception in 2019, the garden has produced and distributed 125 fresh vegetables to staff members.
We started this farm in hopes of just educating staff members about the ways they could be a bit more sustainable. Also to improve on the quality of nutrition, you know, because we find that a lot of the times they're bringing stuff from lunch that are not very healthy. And we thought we wanted to kind of create the mindset that fresh vegetables were the connection for them to be a little bit more healthy and to reduce chronic diseases.
The response was actually a resounding welcoming response from our executive team. They understand the importance of establishing a backyard garden here at CG Atlantic. They understand the importance of individuals being self-sustainable, learning the techniques of backyard gardening as well. And because we are the only insurance provider in the country that has a wellness department, it was important for us to re-emphasize the importance of health and wellness for our colleagues and also our Zest Wellness members.
The garden is equipped with the necessary tools to keep it growing: soil, sunlight, and an irrigation system that waters the soil twice a day, as well as a full endorsement of its employees.
These things have made a big difference when it comes to the mindset of our staff. A lot of them are wanting to start their own backyard garden space, which we wanted, and also I think they appreciate that this garden space is here because they can walk out of the office and have a bit of a reflection time in the space itself.
Customers also eager to view this natural wonder.
If our clientels are also interested in certain spaces like this as well, they're using this as a replica for them to create their own garden spaces. In the past, we would have done some farmers market tours that were moving people around the country, showing them where the farmers markets were, getting them exposed to purchasing those things from BAIC and other farmers. And I think that's been a lasting taste in our clients' mouth. So without further ado, we said, you know what, let's start our own garden space.
These young men hope their efforts would spark a national revolution, reducing our food imports and contributing to a healthy Bahamas.
Well, being a musician and an author may seem normal, right? Well, it is for one resident who put pen to paper during his time inside due to COVID-19. Keisha Adderley tells us more.
Since he constructed his first guitar and started playing the strings as a child in his native Long Island, musician Chris Fox hasn't looked back. But like many others, the COVID-19 vaccine pushed him in a new direction.
Part of the book, just talk about like what it says, excellence in music. But to the back, I did a little biography called My Whole Life is Music, see?
Now, his next musical project was derailed because of the pandemic. That's when he started putting pen to paper in a new way.
It's about, I say 6 years ago, the book was finished. Before Miles died, he did the forward for me. And Lady Finland did the preface, but we were supposed to release it, but the pandemic came on, and so we had to slow down. Because what we wanted to do was do a big concert with a 40-piece orchestra here, and then go to Cuba, then go to Nashville, and then go to where I graduated from, Boston, Massachusetts, Berkeley College of Music. That was the plan.
While he's a musician at heart, spending many days in front of his keyboard or producing musical arrangements, Fox has learned a thing or two about life that he wants to share.
I mean, if you have a dream or you have a vision in life, right? This book would really help you, show you the pitfalls and, what you should do from what you shouldn't do, So I just been writing, what I'm saying? I didn't have to, think about it. It just came and I just write. I really don't write when I have to push for it. I mean, I have to force it. I write when it just comes. It could happen to me 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I could be writing on the beach, exercising on the beach, and I would run back to the computer and have the idea, because the same idea never come to you again.
There's lots of music and knowledge still flowing from this award-winning musician. Look out for this next production on the spiritual side.
I took the Bible where I read it through from Genesis to Revelation to the last book in the Bible. And I just took prayers, like say 100 ways to pray the word, so take things from them. So it's like praying, honoring God, reminding God of his word, and praying his word back to him.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Every day is a great day of savings at Super Value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow evaporated milk, large can, 89 cents. IGA peanut butter, 18-ounce jar, $2.69. Super Value alkaline water, 5-gallon size, $5.19. Whole rotisserie chickens, $7.99 each. Center cut pork chops, $2.59 per pound. Super Value Winton open Sundays 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Super Value Cable Beach open Sundays 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
The COVID-19 pandemic forced the cancellation of GLAD exams. These exams are taken by 3rd and 6th graders each year. This year, the exams will go on from May 31st to June 3rd. Our team spoke with Sadie Curtis primary principal Carolyn Mitchell on the level of GLAD prep at her school.
GLAD exam is an annual exam, and it's an exam that does a summative assessment of the mathematics skills. For example, we look at the 3 components being the concepts, the computation and application, and of course the language arts subjects, which is inclusive of listening and reading, writing, and language skills. We have the grade 6 students. They are also taking the social studies and science examination. In order to accommodate 50% of our students in a class, we will be utilizing an additional 5 classrooms. So for example, grade 3 students, when they come, they will be spread across 10 classes. And the same will apply for the grade 6.
And what results does she expect?
We expect good results as usual.
The Ministry of Education encourages all students to do their best, study, and prepare for your exams. I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk. Want to stay in the know? Subscribe. Text 819-BMOE. That's 819-2663. Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
The man in the boat culling round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. The Bahamian beer, good right over here. If you bound the Bahamian, raise your signs in the air. The man in the boat culling round Bahama land. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. 100% Bahamian owned, even foreign guys.
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Store or your favorite restaurant or liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
A number of tourists flocking to North Eleuthera and Harbor Island this weekend as Americans celebrate Memorial Day. This translating into a big economic boost for the island as tourism officials note that hotels were booked solid, reporting 80 to 100% occupancy. We talked to tourism executive June Dean.
Our marinas were full, the beaches were full. We have been so excited just to welcome everybody here. As a matter of fact, the entire month of May, we've already recorded some 6,761 persons that would have come through the North Eleuthera Airport. As a community, the confidence and the enthusiasm of the people have grown so much. We would have just come out of a pandemic where persons would have pretty much come to a full stop as it relates to working. And now with such a boost in our economy, so many persons are working, some persons are working 2 jobs. It's like finally seeing the light at the end of a tunnel.
Tourism officials assuring that through it all, safety protocols were followed.
For the most part, our visitors, our locals are adhering to the rules and regulations. They do wear their mask. And of course, our very competent police officers, our COVID ambassadors, they are always on the road. And as long as they do come across someone that is not doing what they're supposed to do as it relates to the regulations that are in place, they do enforce those rules.
2 men in custody in connection with a major drug bust in the Exuma Sunday. 29 bags of suspected marijuana valued at $872,000. Police press liaison officer Audley Peters says officers were on marine patrol in the Farmers Key area and they spotted a boat with 2 men on board.
The occupants of this vessel, on seeing the police, fled. A short chase ensued. The officers managed to intercept the vessel and boarded the craft. A search was conducted of the cabin where the officers found 4 crocus sacks containing a substance believed to be marijuana. The suspects were arrested. The vessel was taken to Georgetown where a further search was conducted and 25 crocus sacks containing suspected marijuana was found. The drugs and suspects were brought to New Providence, where this matter will continue its investigation.
Sunday's bust coming on the heels of another big one a few weeks back, leaving authorities that more determined to strike a serious blow to the illegal drug trade.
There is a transnational operation that is going on where persons are trying to ship their products to other jurisdictions via the Bahamas. And our network, which is the police network I'm talking about, we're working and we're cooperating with one another. Hence, we have the success that we have today. And earlier we would have stated, our network is working. If you take the risk to traffic drugs, you made a decision to find yourself before the law, and we are going to be careful, we're going to be disciplined, and we're going to be purposeful in what we do to ensure that our country is safe, free from drugs and whatever residual effects that drugs bring with it.
Well, that takes us to our check for Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Patricia. The hurricane season is right on our heels. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast, so stay tuned. But outside of our studios, light rains with a temperature of 79 degrees, relative humidity 83%. We have east-southeast winds at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars or 30.13 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama and Greentoe Key, Marshall, Barbacoa at 82, 80 degrees in the Berry Islands, Alistown, Bimini 81, 80 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera 78 degrees, 80 degrees in Black Point, Exuma, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews 80 as well, 81 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. In Alistown, Cat Island, the mercury column got up to 81 degrees, 81s in San Salvador, Rum Key and Georgetown, Exuma 82s in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, Matthew Town, Unagua at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight through tomorrow, easterly flow speeds at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide will take place at 1:19 in the morning with the low tide at 7:54 tomorrow morning. And as we take you into the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday, easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Caution flags are in place for the central and southeastern islands through Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, in the northwestern parts of our country, the winds swing out of the southeast, speeds picking up 12 to 18 knots, wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. So we'll post caution flags for the northwest Bahamas on Wednesday. Low tide at 8:51 in the morning, high tide at 3 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands. East to southeast flow at 15 to 20, wave heights remaining at 4 to 7 feet with a caution flag in place. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Need it feeling out. Hear the sailorman sound. Crawly gray, your boat. Need it feeling out. Hear the sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head, boy. That's the sailorman sound. If you wanna go to
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
We're ready with the newly remodeled reception area. We're ready with your safety as our top priority. We're ready with state-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, and an enhanced patient information platform with online access to your reports for your physician. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we're ready to serve you. Open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call to make an appointment today.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's just roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Check out the deals that Noel's Liquor Store on East Bay Street has just for you. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com, select the island of your choice, and shop anywhere, anytime.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations.
18 years old. What does an 18-year-old know about union business? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. What are you doing in the union movement at 18? How'd you get in? How hard was it for you to leave the BPSU and form the BCPOU in 1973?
Well, before we got to that stage, we tried to take over the leadership of the BPSU.
You tried a coup that didn't work, eh?
Plenty jitney in Nassau, but only this one pays you. Step into Jitney 242 and I will quiz you all the way to your destination. The further we get, the questions get harder. You're so wrong. Oh! You're so wrong. And the pay gets bigger. You are absolutely right. You've won yourself another $20.
Jitney 242.
If you get stuck.
It's back on home court tomorrow for DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns after a big win in the NBA's Western Conference first-round series. They took down the LA Lakers 100-92 to putting both teams at 2 games apiece. Ayton doing most of his damage in the second half. He finished with 14 points and 17 rebounds. A large Bahamian delegation will attend the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon on June 9th. Starting in the West, Houston's Breanne Bethel will run in 4 events. The Open Women's 100 and 200 along with 4x1 and 4x4 relays. Texas Tech's Terrence Jones booked his spot in the men's 200 while also helping the Red Raiders qualify in the 4x1. Washington State's Charisma Taylor broke her own school record in the women's triple jump to secure her spot. Arkansas' Laquan Nairn has qualified in the men's triple jump, while Serena Brown will represent Iowa in the women's shot put. From the East Regional, Purdue University's Samson Colebrook will run in the men's 200 and 4x1, and Tamara Green in the men's triple jump. Megan Moss qualified in 3 events for the Kentucky Wildcats, the Open Women's 400 along with the 4x1 and 4x4 relays. Donisha Anderson and the Florida Gators also moving on in the women's 4x4 as the top-seeded team after breaking a facility record. Meantime, Adrian Curry and the Ohio State Buckeyes men's 4x1 team will have a lane in Eugene as well. As we await the Division I championships, the Division II championships were held this past weekend. Minnesota State's Denisha Cartwright earning All-American status in 4 events. She helped her team to a second-place finish in the 4x1, was 3rd in 100 hurdles, 7th in the 200, and 8th in the century. Well, Ellison Hanna coming up big for the Indiana State Sycamores in the Missouri Valley Conference baseball tournament. In 5 games, he went a combined 5-14 with 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and 7 runs scored while being named to the all-tournament team. Indiana State lost in the championship to Dallas Baptist and will now have to wait on the selection show later today to see their fate at regionals. Now, one of Hanna's home runs of the weekend was a grand slam, and he had a chance to speak about it after the game.
Not even gonna lie, it was an unrealistic feeling, something I can't describe. You know, I think I've never hit a grand slam in college before, and I think that with it being my first hit of the day, it was probably the most important hit of the day, and that was just to see everybody's emotions, to see everybody happy that we not only took the lead, but be happy for me that I put us in that situation was an unbelievable feeling, something I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations.
18 years old. What does an 18-year-old know about union business?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. What are you doing in the union movement at 18? How'd you get in? How hard was it for you to leave the BPSU and form the BCPOU in 1973?
Well, before we got to that stage, we tried to take over the leadership of the BPSU.
You tried a coup that didn't work, eh?
ZNS Shopping Network is the place for deals. Check out the deals Cantor General Store has for you. Log on to www.znsshoppingnetwork.com, select the island of your choice, and shop anywhere, anytime.
This is a special program on the architect of labor, the late Sir Randall Francis Fox.
He is the kind of leader serving the labor movement that I would want to follow.
Sir Randall was a true Bahamian. He fought for Bahamians, and not one set of Bahamians, but all Bahamians.
This is a special program on the architect of labor, the late Sir Randall Francis Fox.
In this age of spin, when so much information is suspect, people are searching for information they can trust. The answer? A closer look.
We made tremendous progress with respect to reducing the deficit.
The fact that there will be more infections suggests that there could be more deaths.
But if it is more transmissible, and those strains are all more transmissible, then it means that more people will get infected, more people will have symptomatic disease.
Something about metering.
You're not going to be able to owe BPL $10,000, $20,000.
That situation is in order now, eh?
As you load up that meter, you can use your power.
We in essence, have done something with a health travel visa that's going to help our tourism product.
A closer look with Anthony Newbold, where you get the facts you can believe in. Mondays at 8 p.m. and Wednesdays at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Television Network.
Plenty jitney in Nassau, but only this one pays you. Step into Jitney 242 and I will quiz you all the way to your destination. The further we get, the questions get harder. You're so wrong. Oh! You're so wrong. And the pay gets bigger. You are absolutely right. You've won yourself another $20.
Jitney 242.
If you get stuck.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the 2021 tropical cyclone season opens tomorrow, and I hasten to say, be prepared because it's going to be another busy season. And as we take a look at our satellite picture, we have lots of moisture over the northwest Bahamas that's associated with a combination of surface and mid-level troughs, which are slowly being advected towards the east. That will keep some showers in the mix over the next several days, keeping the wet stuff there, which is very much needed. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy conditions with scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms in the mix. Low temperature tonight getting down to 75 degrees, and tomorrow the cloudiness will continue a bit on the breezy side, particularly during the morning hours, with again showers and thunderstorms in places. 84 degrees for your high tomorrow. The extended weather forecast, so wet stuff will be with us right into the middle part of the week. Things should start to let up just a bit on Thursday, 1 or 2 stray showers on Friday. The weekend looking a lot better with a lot more sunshine in the forecast. Temperatures even warming up, getting back up into the upper 80s as we head into the weekend. Nighttime temperatures, they will remain in the mid-70s. Rakishna.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the